Howdy, howdy. Welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well today. So, I want to get on here and talk to you guys about suffering. Now, for those of you who don't know, recently, Phil Robertson, I love the Robertson family. He recently passed away. And during this time, it was a prolonged period. I think it mentioned about a month ago, he mentioned that Phil was struggling with Alzheimer's and I think some blood disease or something along the line of that. But during this time, Phil suffered, quite a bit from the way Jace Robertson explained. And he went on to say that God does his best work in the midst of suffering. All too often, folks will come on here and comment things and ask me questions, and I'm sure you guys get it. Obviously, you see it. But folks will come on here and ask me questions, and some folks would ask me the question. I've seen this time and time again, and it's, Trent, why am I suffering? I believe in God. I believe in what He's done for me, but why am I suffering? What's interesting is people tend to have that question. It's very easy to think about that and have that question because, you think that when you become a Christian, life just gets easier for you. But the reality of it is, it doesn't, right? We still have our struggles, but we need to understand that oftentimes we don't know what we're asking, right? And going back to God doing His best work in the midst of suffering. I mean, think about Moses, whenever he split the Red Sea. That was a pretty phenomenal thing. I mean, Moses and the slaves of Egypt are suffering, right? And in that midst of that, he opened the sea up, and that's a pretty amazing work. But all too often, we go through something, we wonder, why is God allowing me to go through this? Why is God allowing me to experience this trial? That's a pretty common question among believers. The reality of it is sometimes we don't know what we're asking, right? What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is this. When you ask for prayer, right, sometimes we ask for certain things during prayer. Sometimes we think that it needs to be answered exactly the way that we ask it. I mean, how many times have we asked for faith? Like, Lord, help me grow in faith. Lord, help me grow in patience. Lord, help me be more loving. Now, when we ask for that, Scripture says that His thoughts are higher than our thoughts and His ways are higher than our ways. When we ask for patience, why do we automatically assume that God is going to send us patience just like that? Right? That's not how it works. He's going to send us something that helps us develop that patience, right? When we ask for our faith to grow, He's not just going to give us faith. He's going to give us something, a trial or a scenario in which what will cause our faith to grow, right? All too often we think that He's just supposed to answer our prayer in the way that we ask it. And in the midst of suffering, His greatest work is done. So next time you feel like you're going through something, right? You're going through a trial. You're going through something that is very hard on your life right now. Remember that you may have asked for it. Remember that it may have been something that you asked for, right? Did you ask for God to help you grow in patience? Did you ask Him to help you grow in faith? Did you ask Him to help you grow in being more loving? All too often we misunderstand really what we're asking. Reminds me of the time whenever Jesus was with, I believe it's James and John, right? The sons of thunder. I think that's who it was. But they asked their mother asked, Lord, let these two boys be at your right side when you come with your kingdom. Let them be at your right hand. And they said, yes, Lord, let it be so. Let it be so. He looked at me and he told them, he said, you don't know what you're asking, right? You don't know what you're asking. Lord, help me grow in patience. You don't know what you're asking. Lord, help me grow in my faith. You don't know what you're asking. All too often, we take God as this cookie cutter, just superficial, surface based. I mean, you have to remember, He is the creator of the universe. You want to grow in faith, He's not going to send you faith. He's going to send you something that's going to help you grow in that faith. You want to grow in your patience, He's not just going to give you patience. He's going to put something your way that it's going to make you grow in patience, right? That's how it comes down to. But yeah, I want to get on here and share with you guys today. You know, Phil Robertson was looked up to him. You know, the reality of it is like I mentioned in previous videos, you know, I used to be a Seventh-day Adventist, and it was, you know, the Robertson family that brought me out of that delusion, you know, really finding Jesus and seeing who Jesus is. And when Phil passed away, you know, going through all that he went through, Jace Robertson shared, you know, he said, God's greatest work is done through suffering. And that's riddled in Scripture. You know, whenever Daniel was in the lion's den, whenever Noah was put through the flood, that wasn't something very easy. So just think, next time you're going through something, next time you're experiencing a trial that may not be easy to understand, next time you're feeling like, hey, why is this so difficult? It may just be what you asked for, right? And it may be something that God is going to use to pull a great work out of. Okay, so sorry for the delay in videos. I was doing them every couple of days. You know, it's kind of hard, like I said, with the whole schedule, but I'm trying for you guys, man. Hope you guys are blessed by today's message. Like I said, you know, it's very easy to misunderstand God, and it's very easy for us to just place this blanket on Him like, oh, this is how things should be done. You know, we've been doing that since the very beginning of time, but the reality of it is God knows better than us. Okay, so if you're going through something, whatever it may be, a certain trial or a certain tribulation, whatever you want to call it, you may have asked for it, right? And then during that trial, something great will come out of it. So God bless. Love you guys, man. I will see y'all next episode.